Hello everybody and welcome back to Oakbridge Farm. So we've just got the baler on and we've got this grass field. Well, we've got a lot of baling to do this episode, but I thought we might as well start with our grass first, and it should be in one time lapse we'll get this grass field and our smaller field, I think it's field 14, get both them done in our first time lapse of the episode. What I didn't check, what size bales am I making? 240. Okay, that's okay, we're making the right size because these want to be as big as possible, because all this grass will be going towards where the sheep are and the goats, and then all the straw will be going for obviously bedding for the water buffalo, but also they will be going into the TMR mixer and see how much we have left there. So we've got these two to do. I would like to look into grass rollers, although we won't be able to use it on this field that we're in now because this is it's not classed as a proper field at the minute. It will be, I do think we will plough it, which it will be renting the Lizard subsoiler. I know we did own it and I know we did sell it, but I didn't think there'd be any other fields that we would be working. You can see the straw swaths just there in the distance. Yeah, so that will make that a quick and easy job for us if we do it with the subsoiler. And then we should get better yields of grass out of here, and then this will, I think now, predominantly stay as a grass field. We do, I think, need to buy another one. It just all depends which one, because I know there's a few smaller ones just on the other side of the village, but getting in and out with our machinery it's a bit like hard work. But we could, just above the goats and where the horse paddock is, we could go and buy the field there, and I'm sure if we bought the horse paddock we could get rid of the horse jumps, which, if I'm honest, I don't really want to do because I quite like it's aesthetically pleasing looking at them. And then we should be able to get, if we remove the hedge, the field just above it where we I think we went bale wrapping there, that field just above there, we should be able to get in via the top. So that is another option for us. And there we have it, that's 2 fields done, so the 2 out of 3 complete. It's just this bigger one that will be to do next, but we're not going to do this one just quite yet. But what we will do is we will leave the tractor here. You would have noticed I used the unload bale early mod to empty the grass into that field, into the first field we did, and I've left these bales in here. I don't know whether there's 1 or 2 in here, but I thought there's no point taking them further than what they need to be. This is the job that we need to do today as well. The wool's soon stacking up. Let's find, this is what we want. So if we drop, right, preferably let's not drop the weight off, let's drop the trailer off first. And the stacker, should be here, so we can go and put this on. And I think it's probably best if we start with the grass. We'll go get a load of, there should be more than 1 load in, but if we get a load of grass we can take them to the sheep, which I don't think we'll be able to get under the shed that's there, so it will be unloading them in the open, and then it will be a good skid steer job to then move them into the shed so then they're out of the elements. or at least that's the plan anyway. Knowing me, anything could happen, and it may prove a lot worse doing it that way. But it's one of them. Ooh, we're flying about all over there. Yeah, it's one of them. Time will very much tell. But I think if we get this first load loaded up, and then we will see you over there. One more bale to go, and then I think it leaves us with 7 left. Which, out of this field, I don't think that's it's not a bad tally at all, so I'm very happy getting that amount out. And it does make you question, when we do eventually get this into a proper seeded grass field, how much more we will actually get. One thing I will have to say is if there is any of you that are watching these, well, following this along episode by episode, my current job is about to get very, very busy in the next sort of 2 to 3 weeks, where I don't think I will be able to do 4 episodes a week. So I'm hoping that if I drop it down to 3, that I should be able to then do that. Well, that is absolute fingers crossed. If I do that, I think it will be Oakbridge Farm. So what I'll probably do is knock the Sunday episode on the head and just do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But it will be Oakbridge Farms, I think, 2 times, and then it will just be the Staroes series once a week. That's if I'm able to do it, which is a big if. I'm hoping I can, because I know I'm certainly very much enjoying making these, which I hope you lot are enjoying watching them. But it's very much time will tell, because I know, well, for me, it's once it gets busy, it's, what will it be, 9 months of the year where I'll be at work every day. So yeah, it's a fair commitment. I know. I don't want to be going that way. I know it's one of them. I know my partner, she understands the job, but if I'm, the time that I do get at home, if I'm then sat in front of a computer recording videos, I think she will start to not understand it as well. But anyways, that's now been said. So let's get, this is going to show us whether we would never have got under that first lip. No, not in a million years would we have got that in. So we are just going to have to tip here, and then our skid steer is going to have to do the rest. So whilst we're here, let's open this gate. And I know the sheep, I'm going to leave the gates open, and I know the sheep could get out, but they won't. So that it's a game. But right, let's get back to the field and get the last load loaded up. And here are the final 7. So we just put these in front. We don't want to, because I keep forgetting about the new feature of the meadow grass now. So every time it comes to feeding the sheep and obviously the goats, I'm forever giving them food, which we don't need to do now during these, well, not summer months anymore, but yeah, which is something that we don't need to do. So I do need to remember, otherwise I'm just wasting the grass that we're doing. So if it becomes tight over winter, it is completely sort of my fault. But right, let's get this through. These 2 gates are very, very handy. It's just perfect for us to drive through, especially with this auto stacker. So close this gate, and then I think it's time to jump into that fent, and we can cultivate up the olive grove, because I think that's the last job we need to do there. And then we will have to have a look at baling, and then get little bales, and then the only job after that would be to get some canola in. I know it's the first month of planting, is it? Yeah, well, there we go. Where's canola? Canola, first month of planting, which I always like to try plant it in the first month, because then you have 2 months to harvest. If we were to do it in September, we would only have August to do it next year. So I'm just going to leave this here for now, because we don't need to do anything with it just yet. And let's tab through to here. So let's get the fence, let's turn that on. if we lower that down, I still can't work out how. If we go on to steering assist and go okay, typical, it's doing it now. When I was using the mulcher, it wouldn't let me go down the rows. It was saying that I had to go down the actual trees, which was really rather annoying. So I did do them all manually, which I've rather enjoyed the steering assist on here. Just set it away, because when I do a time lapse, as soon as I put the time lapse on, I just play a bit of music and sit back and relax. And all you have to do is turn around at the end, which is rather lovely. But when having to concentrate going up and down these rows, it seems to take a lot longer than normal. Well, I was going to put that into a bit of a time lapse, because I was under the impression these need cultivating every year. But if you look down these rows, these have already all been done, so it's just this end, which is the row that I added in. So we now should have, by the time we do it, we should have a full olive harvester load by the time we get to the end now. I think it was 3 full, I think it was it 2.5 on the last harvest, but with this extra row, it should now hopefully be 3. Yeah, so there's me thinking here's another time lapse to go into, and it's not needed whatsoever. It also means we can now get rid of this fence. So if we lift this up, we will leave the cultivator here. So drop that off, and if we just hop out and go to our menu, yeah, see there, it's all done, which I had to turn all these off to be sure. Right, vehicles, what have we got next to the Fendt? We can return that. I would like to buy that at some point. So that's the harvester that we've got, and there is nothing else leased, which is very, very handy. What we can do, however, is we could possibly put this into a time lapse, into loading these into here in the meantime. Reevaluate what machine we have down here. This just simply for the stack of, and I didn't think about it, for the stack of 14 bales like that, it is just too high for it to get it out. I don't want to send the telehandler down here, so the only other option, which I don't want to go with another Kubota, but we may have to, is go for this, which I don't usually use front loaders. Obviously front loaders on tractors, but not so often like this. But I think that could be a good option to use. And then this, it means this can then go to a production site, and it can load pallets for us. But right, now that is done, we can jump into the case. Let's turn, I turned it off, I forgot about that. We'll go get those few bales from over here, which I don't think there's too many of them, but we'll go get these, and then we can look to finish off the baling and get that top bit of I'm getting tongue tied. We can go get the top of field 5, I think it is, that canola. We can go get that baled. I don't know whether we'll gather them up this episode, because I would also like to, if we can get this canola field drilled, which I imagine it's going to have to be this small field over here, which I would like to use. Where is it? Where are we looking? I think have I gone past it? Yes, I have. Cedars. This is what I would like to use. So it's 415 horsepower, which I'm hoping our Claas Where is it? What horsepower are we on here? 445. So the Claas can pull that, and it'd be quite nice to use it because we don't use it so often. I think I also mentioned that I would really like to get a Fendt as our next tractor in here, which I think they're amazing, those big Fendts. You know, the speed that you get with them. A Fendt and a fast track you get the most speed with for your road use, and you also get quite a bit of, well, with the Fendt especially, you get a lot of power for not as much money as what I think these bigger, the bigger machinery is, which you can only really use if you're doing groundwork or out like that. Whereas the Fendt is awesome on road work and on field work. But so what's that? 5 bales here. Well, this is a fairly quick and easy job. Ooh, better just slow down, otherwise we're going to miss that. And then we will make our way to Black Sheep Modding's bale store. Normally I wouldn't be coming back here just to drop 5 bales off, but it makes no sense considering we're driving straight past here not to. And we're more than likely going to get quite a few bales out of the canola field, so it might as well be empty when we go there. Well, when we go there now. I could really do with a bigger field for canola, but we don't quite have the finances, because what have we got? Because there's field 2, which that is it oats? No, I'm guessing carrots. So field 2 is a field I'd like to get. Field 3 is an option, and I would like 21 if possible. But yeah, we just don't have the money. If that was to go into canola for next year, then definitely that's what we will aim for. But right, let's go back to Cedars. We want to, if we grab this additional weight, I don't think we need to do that. So let's lease this, and we'll have this on lease for a few days until we get all our crops into the ground. So lease that. Let's go find that's the Massey, our big boy here. And I don't know whether we've got any seed or fertiliser. I think we've got a part bag of seed at the livestock farm, but not enough for this. So we will fill it up when we're at the store, and then go straight to that little field and get our canola in the ground. So this seeder can hold 7,700 litres, of which is solid fertiliser and seed. I do not know, but we will find out. So I think if we do 3 of solid fertiliser and do 4 of seed, then at least we're not spending an absolute fortune straight off the bat to seeds. Let's go 4 of you, please. Let's buy them. And we now need to go to here. What do you get? Oh, you can't get these in little bags like you used to. 3 of these. Let's buy them. Our money is soon very quickly depleted. So there we are. We're filling with seed. What was that? 30. So we'll get 3. So I think it's more fertiliser than seed you can get into here. And it's a rapid fill. Brilliant, so that's that. So now let's turn around and get close to our fertiliser bags, which I'm hoping we 3. Oh no, it's half and half. Is it? No, more fertiliser. So we should be able to put all this fertiliser in. Where if there was a telehandler at the store, I would be able to lift them up and fill it properly, I should say. The last bag going in, and done. So let's make our way back to that canola. Well, what was it? Was it wheat? Was it wheat or barley? I can't remember. But the field 14 or 13, which we are going to get some canola in. I do love this little ford to go through here. Right. Let's unfold. So this is the biggest direct seeder that we have in the game, which it's only 9 meters, but hopefully 9 meters will be just enough for what we need to do these, because it does also save a lot of time. We don't have to cultivate first, so we're doing 2 jobs into one. So I'd like to imagine this would be the quicker way. So, but we're going to have the same problem with our hitch being so far in. It's not going onto the back arms, so the turning is going to be very, very tight. As much as I like this class, I think it could have been not wheat. I've gone past it now. Canola. So let's turn this on. Well, then this is the course I want to be on, please. We'll drop it down and let's get planting canola. But as I was saying, as much as I do love this class, I think it could be with us for this season, and then we may very well change and hopefully find something. We need to make sure we check the back end to make sure that whatever we get, it can stick out so that we don't catch onto the tracks. Which, actually, funny story, the estate I have a lot to do with and work on has got one of these, and the back, if you look on the track wheels, on the actual tracks themselves, you've got 2 little wheels just there. They've completely collapsed. So it's currently abandoned. It's abandoned on a bank side out the way, which looking a very, very sorry sight. Just getting these last little bits that were missed, and that has, in my opinion, determined that this class is going to have to go, because it's just painful trying to do that, where you don't have sharp turning circles. Everything is just so slow for such a small field. I was rather hoping to get that done sort of halfway through the time lapse and maybe start baling. But now my thought process is we're looking at calling the episode a day and selling this, which is what I think I am going to do. But what I do want to have a look at is if we go large tractors. So it is this one that I'm looking at, and if we go max power, that is more powerful than, well, it's 415. It's more powerful than what this class is. So we may have to take a little bit of a loan out. We still have that bigger loan at the minute, which for some reason I can't repay. I could only repay 10,000. So when I did want to pay it off, or pay a big portion of it off, I couldn't. So we may just have to look at getting another slight little loan just to keep us going. And if we're going to do some digestate, we also need to look at having enough to either finance or to lease our the dribble bars for it. This certainly is a very sad day. Let's see what we can get. This is the annoying thing, is it would have devalued a fair bit. 337, so that will give us just over 400,000. Let's repaint, repair, and now sell. Oh, I wish I didn't have to do that. For right, large tractors. Let's try, because we could. I could go for that. Save a lot of money and get 600 horsepower. So it could very well be an option, but what do we have here? So standard 2, standard 1. I think I prefer the standard 2. Front weights. Do we go with a front weight? Possibly. It's not adding very much on at all. So beacons, always got to have a beacons. Monitors, let's get them all in there. It's a very dark cab, is that? Oh, let's look at the back. Okay, so that would catch, but if we go quick hitch, I think we would get a better turning circle there, or at least I hope so, because I don't want to have to go through all this again. Do we? Oh no, we're only at 350 there. 600 horsepower. So that's so cheap. Oh, just wait, I'm going to have a look through some others. Now, this is what we're going for. Everything on it, and we'll see. At least if we do mess up, we're not losing too much with it being 88 instead of going for I think it's 415,000. That fence is definitely the next machine that we want to buy, 100%. But just look at this, 600 horsepower for 89,000. Oh, it's a good day. We now just need to see whether we can turn around with the Cedar and other implements on it better than what the Claas was doing. I'm hoping by looking at the back end there, at the hitches and the links and everything, that this should very well be a lot better. It's a very dark cab inside here. Very dark. But look at all our screens. Our old school machinery with high-tech gadgets. That's what I like. We're just going to give this a quick test now on the back of this, with this Cedar on the back, see what our turning circle's like now. It should be a lot better. Should be, I think, is the big question. So let's put that on, and now we'll have a quick whiz round. Well, if we do a quick turning circle here, is that catching? Oh, it's catching. Oh no. I think it's still a better turning circle. Still a better turning circle than what the Claas was. The Claas would never have turned around in that. So I think that is a big improvement. Well, it's a huge improvement and a huge positive. But the Cedar's bigger than the tractor, and we will get the quad track at some point, the biggest one in the game. So let's turn that off. I want to go quickly have a look, because we've got some money now. If we go to finances, can we pay any? We can't pay any more off, so we're just going to have to let that keep ticking over. 28 months, so we're going to have that for a fair while. Let's go have a look. Are these carrots harvested? No. So once these carrots are harvested, we will then look to buy this field. That is a certainty. And then we can go up here. We can take, most likely, this bit of hedge and this bit of fence out. And then that will be our new gateway into this field. And I know I've been on about getting a new cereal crop, but I would like to try and do poplar. But it could very well be where we've got field 14, 13 could be quite a nice poplar field, although it is on a bank. But brilliant. Well, I don't think there is much more to do, so we will go back here, and I will say to everybody, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have all liked and enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.